And good morning. It's 4 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock here at Easy 100.1 FM, Jackson's community radio station. And welcome to Profiles Mississippi Radio. I'm Jack Chris, your host. We're glad to be back with you this week after an absence last week. And you know, I'm gone 1 week and my Herb Alpert bumper music mysteriously disappears. Nothing is sacred and nothing is safe, I suppose. However, we're entering to the music of Boz Scaggs, and that's not bad. We're taping again today for YouTube. We invite people to go to youtube.com and search either Jack Chris or Profiles Mississippi to see past shows that have been archived. And today we're pleased to have really what I consider a fantastic program coming up at 10:35. Noted Mississippi artist and now author Gary Walters will be with us in the studio, but we're pleased to be joined by two entrepreneurs for the first half hour with a very remarkable internet concept we're going to discuss called 10beyond.com. My guests are, these wonderful entrepreneurs are Mr. David Russell and Dave Kimball. Now, I hope I can get the Daves. We're up to our necks in Daves today.
Just DK, DR, however, whatever works.
I'll
answer anything except late for dinner.
That would confuse me even more. And now, leave the jokes to me, Dave, please, to the professional host. Gentlemen, 10beyond.com. I started hearing about this concept, and I want you to explain in depth what it is, but I think a couple of years ago, there was a buzz, David. In fact, you and I even talked about 10beyond.com. Tell our listeners, what is it, and why did it take so long to get off the ground, and why should our listeners be interested in this new concept, 10beyond.com?
Well, the why it took so long to get off the ground, I may defer that question, because that may take longer than the hour you've got or the 30 minutes that we can talk today. But what is it? 10beyond.com is a 21st century model of social capitalism, and that is doing well while you're doing good. And so what it is a way to promote generosity across this nation. It enables people to make a donation to any nonprofit in America and then, in essence, advertise that donation and multiply it through the medium of email by simply making others aware that you're supporting a nonprofit cause. Just the act of doing that and sending an email indicating your support spreads goodwill and spreads that generosity to the recipients of those email messages.
Let's back up. How did this concept originate? How did the idea even come to be?
That's a good place to start. In October 5th, 2005, I'm sitting at my desk. I'm closing out my computer, about to go home. It's 5:15. I noticed every single website you go to has a click to give to Katrina victims. Great concept. I mean, that was the year of the tsunami and then Katrina in October, and you began to see these every website carrying some type of a link to be able to support Katrina victims. And I thought, well, that's a great concept, but it seems a little one-dimensional. It seems like we ought to make some way to make giving to some cause more automatic, something that you do repetitively every single day. And I thought, okay, well, what do I do every day almost without thinking and do a lot of? And I send and receive a lot of emails. And I thought to myself, well, currently there is no revenue for anything generated by the act of sending an email. Well, it is a free medium, so why would you pay to use it? The only reason you might pay to use it would be if it benefits something that you're passionate about. And so the idea was to bring almost a charity postage type of concept to the medium of email.
You know, David, I didn't realize you were that smart.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea, but let me ask both of you this question, David Russell and David Kimball here in the studio with us. What is the difference in doing this and, say, just calling my favorite charity and giving them my credit card? I mean, what is the benefit to me to use 10beyond.com?
Since David comes out of the advertising world, and when I shared this with him about 6 months ago, the aha kind of went off in his head. David, how would you answer that?
Okay. Well, David first shared this. To be honest with you, I didn't understand it until I thought about it a little harder and realized in my 30 years experience, this is probably the best marketing idea I've ever seen. The reason being, and directly to answer your question, as opposed to donating directly to a charity or through one of the other donation portals on the internet, If you donate through us, you get an email signature, an email tag, as David explained, that allows you to essentially spread the word on your support. And any recipient of that email, if they'll click on that tag, they can donate just as you have. And as they send their emails out, people see the tag and they can donate. So the advantage is, certainly you make your donation and you can help the charity or cause that you want to. But it gives you an automatic way with no effort whatsoever to multiply, if you will, that donation. So if you donate, say $30, all right, with saying nothing, doing nothing other than just sending your everyday emails out, your donation might multiply to $60, $90, $120. Depends on how many generations it goes. That's the advantage. You can do more with the money that you donate. And everyone that donates obviously wants to make the biggest difference they can, unless you can donate $50,000, which I personally can't. And Jack, I know you can, but I can't.
No, well, Edward St. Pay can. You can donate to any charity of your choice? Are there any limitations on the charity?
We have 1.4 million charities in our database that you can donate to, and that's through the IRS reporting.
Right.
There may be some very small or brand new charities that aren't listed there, but there will be eventually.
Well, now, David Russell mentioned that the concept came to him in 2005. The official launch was when?
Official launch was June 1st of this year. We went through about 3 different testings, rewritings, re-scriptings, re-engineerings of our software, and you know, we didn't have a bottomless budget either, or source of revenue to do that with. So it took us some time in testing, really to find out, you know, what worked, what does the customer, the user want, and so it took a little while to get that to where we're now off the ground.
What has the reception been thus far?
The reception has been great. I mean, people that use it figure out how simple it is. Most people have created an email signature, and that simply, if you get an email that has, you know, a postscript that has the person's name, address, or phone number, all we do is simply enable some additional imagery and code to go into that signature that looks like a customized 1-inch square image that the user can customize that indicates their support for that particular nonprofit.
It is 11 minutes past the hour of 10. This is Profiles Mississippi Radio, an extension of Profiles Mississippi Magazine. I'm the publisher of that magazine, Jack Criss, and the host of your show here at Easy 100.1. Gary Walters, Mississippi artist and author, will be joining us for the second part of the show. Meanwhile, in the studio with us for the first half, we have Mr. David Kimball and David Russell, the masterminds behind 10beyond.com, a revolutionary concept in philanthropy, I suppose you could say. Now let's see, David, this is an actual, you're handing me this in the studio, this is someone's email, and this is what the tag would look like. Now, do you get the tag once you make a donation, or can you request having this signature at the end of your email before making a donation? How is that done?
The actual tag is a step in the donation process. So the tag is not actually used, and this is something else that differentiates us from a lot of things such as Facebook Causes, which it's done some great things, got millions of people using it, but the difference is this actually means somebody donated something to get this. They could not use the tag or create the tag without having made at least a $30 donation.
Now, let's talk about the name. Where did we get the name 10 Beyond? What is the significance?
The significance of that was, and I have to here really credit the branding agency I work with, Mojo Loco here in locally, came up with this concept, and it's the idea that each of us has within our capacity the ability to inspire 10 people beyond ourselves to make a donation. We all think we're connected to hundreds or thousands of friends, and that's great if we can inspire that many, but we can at least inspire 10 beyond ourselves.